All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Maximum Octane. We are still in Orlando at the Hyatt Regency and probably the coldest weather there's ever been in Florida in our lives. Everybody packed to come for a warm tropical thing and had to buy sweaters and coats and pants and things that we didn't have. But we are still excited to be here. And I know I keep saying it in the beginning of these, there's just nothing like being shoulder to shoulder and getting to sit. It's such a different vibe than Zoom. And tonight we have our fabulous trade show. So this is my trade show outfit. I got to
I think you said everyone packed for tropical weather except for Kim. I think she packed just...
Wait. And John,
it's an everyday outfit
for fun.
All right.
John Phelps asked me from Techmetric, what's the over under on Kim's suitcases with her outfits? I said 2.
Surprisingly, is less.
So typically it's 1 suitcase and 1 carry-on. Let me introduce my co-host, Jason, who's here. And then joining us are 2 fabulous women in automotive that we just love. And that is Lisa Coyle, who's the founder of Promotive. And you might know her from 360 and some of her other philanthropic efforts and energies and the things that she does. And then Sam Freeman, who is her right hand. And we're very excited to have them here and talk about how do we solve one of the biggest issues that are plaguing shop owners. But back to the suitcases. So typically it's 1 big suitcase, 1 carry-on.
like a check suitcase.
Yeah.
1 check suitcase, 1 carry-on.
That
Because
weighs
I have
like 100 pounds.
That is like 15 feet
and
tall.
I put everything, all the outfits together in each
Like the Ziploc thing?
Yeah. But so because this year I could drive, I went crazy and brought like 3 suitcases, a carry-on,
she has a clown car
another
right
bag
now.
and whatever. And I'm not even wearing like 1/10 of the stuff I bought, but I just was like, every time I went by my open suitcase, I'm like, I'm going to throw that in there. So the good news why we're talking about this is good because I see all of you do that at your shops. When you have when you have a smaller shop, and I know you've all seen it, when you have a smaller shop and you're kind of outgrowing it a little bit and tight, you have to maximize every inch, every space, everything. And then when you buy the garage mahals, you just have crap everywhere, right? And everybody's running amok and nobody knows where anything is. And it actually becomes much less efficient and organized. And so I think we do that with trying to find technicians, kind of the same thing, that Parkinson's law. We spend more time talking about, I can't find a tech, there are no good technicians, all of that stuff, then we actually spend trying to do something about it. And let's face it, you people are not going to do anything about it. Like you're not. You're just going to complain about it. You're going to be talking about it for another 20 years. So you need to enlist professionals.
No. They're going to walk in the door, Kim.
They're going to, well,
Sometimes it happens.
Sometimes, depending on their culture. Yeah. But so that'll be, we could do another.
No, the best tech is just going to walk in the door without us putting an ad out, without us talking to anyone about it. They're just going to show up.
And you are living in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
So is Kim.
Listen, me and myself and I have great conversations in here. Don't you just worry about what goes on in here in this little world. But for that to happen, know that you have to be in the top 3% of the shops in the country and have that reputation with internal, external customers. You have to be well known in the community, and you have to be that singular shop that everybody wants to work at. Those people, which
they already spend so much time and effort in the recruiting space, where they usually have an in-house recruiting platform program. Like they've got the people already doing this full time. Right. So most of the shops do not have a full-time recruiter.
And they don't have truly that culture that attracts everybody just wants to work there. So
well, even with that, they still have to have a process. They still have to be efficient.
Listen, somebody comes in, we say, do you have it? How big is your toolbox?
Right. Can you get it here tomorrow?
Yeah. Can you bill 40 hours a week? Can you diagnose things? And they say yes. And we
everyone's
go,
a diagnostic tech.
Let's start tomorrow. Start tomorrow. And then we don't have any onboarding. We don't have proper vetting, proper interviewing. We don't.
They don't even get to the questions for the interview questions.
Oh yeah.
They're like, you answered 2? And
great, you're
what kind of dog do you have?
Someone today said, do you have 10 fingers? Great, you're hired.
Yeah. I mean,
We'll
it's
take
crazy.
9.
Sports teams, all of the things. So
Right.
you need a process for what you're saying. But again, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. You're not going to do any of that stuff. So we need professionals to do it. Just like we do with marketing,
Yes.
with training, with anything else. We have to hire. That's a recurring theme. I know you're sick of hearing that from us. You have to surround yourself with the right team. And stop thinking, I'm going to start doing that next week or I can handle it all.
Just like that diet I never start.
Yeah. I'll get around to it, right?
Yeah, it's the urgent outweighs the priorities in business. And as a business owner myself, like I get it. And I've used headhunters, if you would,
right.
For lack of a better term. And I found my VP of sales for 360 through a headhunter. And it's hard to keep on top of because fires come up. You're having to deal with different things every day as a business owner. So it's really hard to stay on top of recruiting. So I outsourced it myself as a business owner. And here we are doing it for shops.
So let's talk about that for a minute, because I think the history of you, because you've been in this space for a while and had very, very, very successful businesses in it. What made you say, I just don't have anything else to do. Let me start dabbling in this. What led to this?
Yeah, so with 360, Automotive was our number one vertical. Everyone asked why we chose Automotive. So there was 2 reasons. One, the decision makers are usually at the shop, and in sales, the hardest thing to do is catch the decision maker.
Definitely.
So we were knocking on doors, literally walking in, and we learned to just go right into the open garage. We weren't just going through the front. Like if the garage is open, we're going through the back. And hey, is Bob here? We started learning what kind of cars the owners drove, and we'd drive by and be like, is that truck there? Nope, no wait, truck today. Keep going to the next one. So there, we learned that they were usually in the shop. The second reason, which is the main reason, is there wasn't a lot of technology adopted with the integration. So with 360, we helped get the payments integrated to the shop software. And the shop owners, one of my favorite things about shop owners is they have huge hearts, and they love their people, their connections, their customers. And usually our biggest strengths are our biggest weaknesses. And I would, talk to them and like, you should integrate your payments. You should do text to pay. Well, I really like the girl that comes by. She brings me paper. Her mom's been coming to me for 20 years. Like, I appreciate loyalty so much, but there's an opportunity with the technology. Fast forward to Promotive, the number one issue that we heard from shops of why they couldn't switch their payments, why they couldn't switch their shop software is, I don't have time. When you dig into why don't we have time, I'm short-staffed. And it's not just the kids not coming into the industry, it's the leakage going out. And, it's people have babies, people get injured, people have vacations, weddings, whatever the case is. And there had to be, I'm like, there's got to be somebody out there doing corporate level recruiting in the, independent repair shop world. And there are companies, and no matter what, just like Sam always says about DVI, like as long as you're using DVI, like you're already ahead.
You're
of
making
the
a
game.
difference.
Right.
You're already
No matter who you're using for recruiting, if you have help, you're already using, like you're in the right direction.
Well, and the number one thing back 20 years ago when I started in this industry was I was trying to do marketing sales over the phone with Customer Link. And the first call I ever had was, they're like, I don't need marketing. My customers come back on their own. Now, if you can help me find a technician, boom, boom, boom. It only took 20 years to get to that point, but now we're doing it.
Yeah.
But I also want to talk about, you said something about we've got a lot of leakage in the industry, right?
Yeah, tons.
A lot of it is, most of it is actually aging out, right? And this is what we're seeing in just even the shop owner space. There's a lot of shop owners that they're getting extra seasoned, let's just put it that way. And they're kind of exiting the industry because they don't have successors in place, right? And this is something that we're trying to change with ATI as a coaching company. We're trying to coach our shop owners, our members, to be able to have a good succession plan.
Mm-hmm.
But here is the kicker that I've seen happen quite a bit. And this is really mainly because of TikTok. And I do give TikTok. I'll tell you what.
TikTok.
Well, TikTok
I like
is,
TikTok too.
I have
was the catalyst
5.3
for
million
this.
views on a TikTok.
Right.
Yes.
Well, TikTok is great because it's been around, pretty much took hold during COVID time, right? Because of TikTok, I can attribute there's so much more progress in the automotive industry, and it's brought back so much enthusiasm for technicians of this day and age.
I would agree.
This generation.
And it's also getting to the younger crowd, which is giving an interest to, we're not a crappy industry. There's actually fun. It actually can be productive.
Right. So a lot of these price corrections that we're seeing across the whole industry, the stigma being associated, all this stuff is at the forefront. I'm not going to say it's only TikTok, but TikTok really brought on the short form video, right? And more transparency. So what I'm seeing across the board
Not the Vines?
No. Vine was only 6 seconds. There's not enough time in there. But they're bringing Vine back. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, Vine's coming
What?
back. Yeah. So
How?
Oh my goodness. Well.
Or Twitter.
Oh yeah, I've never had Twitter either, but or X now.
No. Oh my goodness. My kids are baseball game really fast. They're like, you know how it's like something, look you up on Twitter and they're like, now X.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, no.
You know, this is probably a very bad combo because this is ADHD. Honestly, I mean, this is a very bad combo.
But did you guys take your meds today?
I just took my meds.
I got like 5 conversations going in my head that when I got questions. So go ahead.
Right. So what I'm seeing across the board is tech programs are coming back to smaller areas, and not just in the metro areas. We're seeing in high school and stuff, tech programs coming back.
Mm-hmm.
There is, I wouldn't say there's a surplus of technicians, but the technicians are coming back on the market.
Yep.
And a lot of this is also because some of these smaller mom and pop shops are getting bought up by PE and venture. And what's happening is these people don't want to work there because the culture starts suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're just closing because they don't have a successor and
Right.
they don't have a plant. They don't have anything to sell.
Yeah, they sell the real estate and the people got to go somewhere else.
Yeah. No, it's with the leakage coming out though, you're right that there's the aging out, but there's a lot of unhappy technicians. Right. And it's not that they're unhappy with the industry. You don't know what you don't know. And they're unhappy in their circumstances. So one thing that is really, really important to us is matching the right tech with the right shop. And are we perfect? No, right? It's impossible to be perfect. I've already learned that very quickly doing this in this industry. It's impossible to get the exact fit because the dynamics and the circumstances, everything changes in small business. But we are trying to make sure that technicians find the home that they're truly looking for. And we're trying to teach them what they can look for because they don't know.
Right.
Well, and I think it's also having the shop owners understand what they're actually looking for. Because everybody wants an A-tech. Everyone wants an A-level diagnostic tech that's going to turn 50 hours or 60 hours, but also help every single other technician in their shop.
And do all the
and do everything.
Right.
But reality is we do have a lot of newer technicians coming in the industry, but these shops don't want them because they want an A-tech. And they don't have the ability. They don't have the time. They can't train. They need to develop a training platform that allows that train-the-trainer model to grow. We are not going to fix this issue that we have, just Promotive. Like, it is going to take everybody's hands on deck to fix this.
Yeah. No, onboarding is definitely important. I was talking with Austin from BAM.
Bam.
Bam. He's great. I swear he should just get a Promotive tattoo like the guy the other day. I'm like,
I think we could get him to do that.
From Gym Night.
I think he could do that.
And
just tiny.
We were talking about, like, as a business owner myself, I don't start employees on a Monday ever. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm anti starting on Mondays because what's the busiest day in any business, not just shops? It's Mondays. Right. You're coming back from a weekend. You don't know what fires you have to put out, who called out because they had a little bit too much fun on a Sunday fun day. And like the cars in the
Football
shop,
season.
like that's, you have the weekend issues that happen. And, I finally can get around to this. I got a call. Like, set your people up for success. And nobody wants to train a new person. Like, that's like the most daunting thing for me. Like, I love bringing on new people. I'm excited about them. Do I want to train them? Hell no. I don't want to train them. I don't want to do it. Like, I have so many other things I want to do. So don't do it on a Monday, right? Like, you will set yourself up for so much success if you start someone on a Tuesday or Wednesday. And that experience from the new employee also is so much better because when you start a new job, it's been a while since I've started a new job, but right, like, you're drinking from a fire hose. You are learning where the parts are. You're learning a new shop management software that you didn't use before. Maybe you used it 7 years ago, a new DVI platform. You're meeting new employees. You're learning what the values are of the company.
You're learning where the oil is.
And so it's, set them up for success and don't burn them out in that first week because you get off that first week and you're like, and they feel stupid. Too,
like, why did I sign up for this? Even
though that they know how to, turn wrenches, for lack of a better term, like, they're still in a new environment. So set them up for success and don't burn them out, and give them the best experience of you not being a spaz as a business owner or whoever's training them.
Right.
So little things like that, I think, can help.
I think even having pay structures that actually support efficient onboarding.
Mhm.
So you have flat rate technicians that come in
They're
and
ready to
there's
go.
no,
Right.
well, yeah, but there's no baseline, and they're still learning all these things that we just talked about. They're drinking from a water fountain. They're also getting
Fire
paid
hose, water fountain.
whatever, same difference to
Right.
me.
Right.
So
But
you're mentioning payroll. I read an article the other day, or it might even been on TikTok. I don't know what.
TikTok.
But I think it was like in a Business Wire or something. And they're saying minimum 5 years, but between 5 and 7 years, that technicians, automotive, HVAC, plumbing, all of that will be getting paid $300 an hour.
Oh, you were
and
telling me that
demanding it.
earlier.
$300 an hour, right? Because so that's not what we're going to charge the consumer for hiring. You know, if we hire somebody $300 an hour, and what's unique about this time in the world is because of the shortages and everything for any trade. This is the first time, at least in my lifetime, that a technician at the top of their game can walk out of a shop and go into an electrical field, or go start working on heavy equipment, or go start doing elevator repair, escalator, anything like that, and walk in starting with
Right.
what took them 20, 30 years to get to in the automotive.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing I think that kept a lot of technicians for a long time, and it made the business owners lazy, is that by the time an ATAC worked their way up and paid off their dang tools and all of the other stuff that, you know, they were doing, they were making so much money an hour, they couldn't afford to leave because they couldn't go to another industry or somewhere else.
Yeah.
They'd have to start over.
Mhm.
That is not the case now. Your people will get snatched up in a minute, making more money, better benefits, better pay than before. We didn't have people poaching from other industries, right? So
Right.
that, on top of them aging out, on top of the lack of the people going in, on top of the not having a good culture of you know, having people work in shops without air conditioning and
Oh.
all the other things, there's not that. So let's talk about Promotive, because I think we're already probably like halfway through, and we're going to run over, so this is probably
That's
going to be a two-parter, but let's talk about what Promotive is, right? Because what do we do? Because I'm sure anybody watching, besides wondering what the hell I'm wearing, or listening, is like, but what is a Promotive do?
Go ahead, Sam, since I have no voice here.
Well, we are a full staffing automotive recruiting team. So we help find and place automotive professionals, from technicians to advisors to GMs, second in commands, all the way through. And the way that we do it, though, is there's still accountability for the shops to do their part, but we are doing the lifting up front. So we are writing the job postings. We are posting them on all the job boards. We're screening the candidates. We're turning over the rocks, finding the candidates that are not looking, to ultimately sell our clients to them to have them move. We do pre-screens. So a lot of the times the shop owners, they don't really get through a full interview with somebody,
Right.
especially. And I mean, I
start
find
tomorrow. That's the extent of the interview.
yes, but there's details that you need. So every one of our clients that are submitted, even if it's through our virtual platform or if it's through our full service platform, our clients are getting 20 plus questions answered, submitted to them. So how long they've been in the industry, how long they've been in the specific role that they're applying for, what their diagnostic skills are, drivability, electrical knowledge, do they know how to read a wire diagram, what their overall diagnostic skills are, and drilling it all the way down to what their culture is. How do they keep their space? Now I feel like half of that's BS. Everybody's clean, like bullshit. But for the most part, we're giving our clients a head start because they wouldn't have had these questions answered even if they are interviewing them on their own. We hold them all the way through on our full service part, from presenting the candidate to scheduling to following up after the interview to staying engaged with them throughout the entire process.
To the offer letter too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
that's
We write
it's
the
a
offer letters.
professional. Like, we send DocuSigns on behalf of the clients, and of course, if they have their own already, we're
Right.
happy to let them do that. But
Or I'll have them provide it to me and I'll send it in a DocuSign.
And then are you
majority of them.
partnering with somebody to make sure whatever offer letter in each state? Because I know, well, California and some of the other states, New York, it's like, my goodness.
It's really their offers. We're just doing the work for them.
Yes.
So,
Putting it together.
yeah. So we get that professional experience because again, it's, Austin, we were talking at lunch and he said, Sam, oh my gosh, it's, you guys are in California. And she texted me at 7:00, or Patrick it was. And he's like, you're texting me at 7:00. And I'm like, I don't want to do this right now. Well, you know what? 7:00 and on the East Coast, that's when the techs have time because they're off their job. So let's get this offer moving.
Or he's like, I'm not in front of my computer. Okay, well, you have your email on your phone.
So
let's go.
We do all that for them.
You know what makes me crazy? We do not send enough offer letters. I am shocked at the amount of, in any small business, the amount of people that don't send an offer letter. And it just sets the stage for an issue and a nightmare. And on the other end, it's so much more professional to receive that, right?
Yeah.
People really
It's a
appreciate
commitment.
that. And that's some of the feedback that we hear, when technicians start or service hours or whatever. And there's like, I've been in this industry 40 years, 20 years, whatever it is. First time anyone ever sent me an offer letter in writing and said, here's, what you can expect. Here's what we can expect. And this is what you're going to get. And it sets the tone right from day one, and even just before with the interview process, that we are a professional business. We treat our people professionally. We need professional behavior from you, and it starts that tone right away before they even take their first step into the shop.
And with this process, is starting it from the time that they're applying.
Right.
Yep.
So we have our automation speed is everything. When the candidates are applying to one job, they're applying to 15 other ones, and their attention span is about this small. And so they're responding to not the ones that are the right fit for them, but the ones that are actually first responders.
Right, responding back.
Yes. And so with our process, we have automation set up so that when they do apply, we're immediately getting in front of them and giving them a next step so that we are giving our clients a head start on having an opportunity at that candidate.
But that's also part of the problem now, right? We're this is one of my things I have to do for the last year. Every podcast, I have to sneak AI in there. And I'm going to go and sneak it in now.
Let's go.
Because what will happen is...
That was so subtle, that sneak.
The best subtle, right? But what usually happens now is if you're doing this on your own, let's say, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, if you're putting ads out on Indeed, Better Team, whatever you're putting it out on, you're getting 100 plus applications fairly quickly.
And Taco Bell workers.
Right. Well, most of this stuff is because it's AI based, right? They're trying to match it up. They'll find one qualification that somewhat lines up and automatically applies. So the same way that you said, you guys have automations built in to get back to them quickly.
Yep.
It's the same way that applicants have automations provided to them from the platform that they're putting their resume on that's automatically sending applications out.
Yep.
Now, on top of that, this also becomes very challenging. I want to go back to a point that you made that, 5 years from now or 6 years from now, whenever, some of these industries are going to be paying $300 plus an hour. I mean, we're getting there already.
Right.
I mean, you can go work at Amazon. If you're a C-Tech, and by our industry standards, you'll probably make more money at Amazon than you're going to make at a shop.
Yeah.
But the upside is what we really need to bank on. And now we've got all this AI tools, and AI really upskills any individual, any position, doesn't matter what. So one thing that I've seen happen quite a bit is technicians that are going to make it through the industry are the ones that are going to grasp this technology.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have to make it available to them as shop owners and just being in the industry. What are we doing to set that standard? Because we can go with Promotive, right? We can get really good applicants. But if your shop's not living up to that applicant's not going to stay there for long.
Agreed.
So it's not just where we want to vet the applicant.
We got to vet the shops.
We got to vet the shops.
Yeah.
They got to look internally first before they even think about, hey, I want to get top talent here.
Yep.
And that's a lot. So when I'm talking with our clients, I have a pretty deep background in a lot of different areas, marketing, DVI, so on and so forth. Been a part of ATI unofficially for 1 million years. I'm asking them what their ARO is, what your car count is, what are you doing for your marketing? Are you doing DVI? Are you utilizing the tools that are going to set your team up for success? Are you going to be able to feed them consistently?
Right.
Are you just talking the talk, but you're not actually doing the shit? Excuse my language. But and
I'm
also,
just going to be getting bleeped out a whole bunch in here.
I will try better. I'll do better. I will do better. But in all seriousness, that is one of the things. And our clients, when they get to us, they're actually wanting that advice. They're wanting to know what can they do better to attract, because they've already felt the pain. They've already dealt with the bleeding. Now they're at the point where they've looked themselves in the mirror and they're like, okay, something needs to change. I'm asked constantly, is my pay structure where it needs to be? What can I do? I'm trying to get benefits. How can I do this? And we're guiding them through that to make them better, along with, are they a part of coaching? You should
That's
probably
a
do
big
So
that.
what are some of the things that for you to take on a shop as a client that they have to have in place before you try to pair them up with a great technician or advisor or manager?
They have to be competitive in the pay structure. If they're trying to pay an A-Tech, what, $30, $20?
An hour,
No, thank you.
Yeah.
And we've turned
it's-
down a couple of clients.
Yesterday, there was a shop here, and he said he pays $30 an hour for a master tech, and she goes, oh. And he goes, is that a good O or a bad O? She goes, that's a bad O. You're especially in a, not rural area, right? Like, but I think overall the easiest way to answer that question is, would we get our car fixed there? Or would we want to work there ourselves if we were a tech or a service advisor or have our sons or daughters? Like, would we want them to work there? Like, that's the overall rule of thumb. And as a business owner in any industry, ask yourself that same question. Like, if I was a technician, is this the shop I would choose? And if the answer isn't a F, yeah, then
Thank you for filtering yourself.
Then you have some reflection as a shop owner, as a business owner, right? Like, and why is the answer not F, yeah? Because it can't be, it depends. It can't be, it depends. It has to be like, you are all in. Like, I absolutely would work here at my shop. And that takes inward reflection too. Like, at our kickoff in January for Promotive, I asked our team, like, if you were a shop owner, would you use Promotive? And they were like, it depends. And I'm like, so that's like, I'm being vulnerable. Like, I'm honest as a business owner here. Like, that's a problem, right? Like, yeah, it depends. Depends who my account manager is. Depends who my recruiter is. Depends who, the market that, we're looking to hire in. So how do I, as a business owner, address those challenges? Because, like, yeah, absolutely. Like, as a business owner, how many shops on listening to this right now have those customers that will only talk to them, right? Yep. Like, yeah, if somebody was going to sign up with Promotive and have me and Sam as their recruiter and account manager, I'd sign up with me all day.
A million times over.
Right? But you have to scale that out. And I think, like, that's a big deal. And, benefits are important. They, believe it or not, like, so many shop owners, I'm mind blown, are like, people don't care about benefits. They do.
Oh my.
Like, they do. PTO, you want to get somebody to leave a dealership or leave where they've been for 5 or 10 years.
Do a lot better.
You can't do 1 week of PTO.
Right.
And you
that
have
drives
to,
me crazy.
you have
It
to
drives
give
me
them
crazy.
the ability to actually take it.
Yeah.
Like you can offer them 15 weeks, but if you're not giving them a structure to be able to actually do it, it's not actually there.
How often are you finding that the shop owners don't even know what they want to give? Because it's fine. Like, we get job offers all the time, because what we do, and if people are trying, they're like, oh, and so, and I'll just add, because I love what I do, and I don't really entertain, but I just ask them for the hell of it, right? Like, what would you give me? Like, because they're like, we would do anything to get you at our shop, right? And then, oh, good, okay, what would you give me? Oh gosh, I could pay you, $80,000 a year and 2 weeks vacation and it's like, that's, you're not,
and work you 150 hours a week.
You're not kidding. They want a rock star. They want that person that is going to treat the business like it's their business. They want all this stuff, but they want to give like a minimum
breadcrumbs
things back. Yeah. And the other thing is that I see that we have to change in this industry. They don't have a career path for people, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's not a career path. So,
and you can't be a tech, like a hardcore tech, for the rest of your life.
No,
your body gives out. Like, you need a growth. You need to be able to get to those points where your knowledge that you're building over the years is being switched to give it back.
And then they don't have a path for that.
And
right?
they don't have a position
It's like,
for
all right,
it.
you're not cranking out 50 hours. We're done with you. Like, what is the next step? If I was a technician and somebody was, I don't care what they're paying me, I want to know, like, what is my career path? What happens when I have to start wearing bifocals or my knuckles are swelling up, or
it's a hard
my back
job.
just hurts from being bent over for how many years? Where do I go next? And out the door is not a good answer.
No, and I do think where coaching is super critical. And that's a value to us. And when we have a shop owner that's in a coaching group, we're like, all right, cool. They're open to feedback. They're open to investing in their
They believe
business.
they need help and they need processes.
It's not, though, what they're willing to do for that one person. The biggest challenge I think business owners face is if I do it for this person,
and I do it for all of them.
I have to do it for everybody else.
Yes.
Which
So-
you should be.
Yeah.
Agreed. But it's easier
Sorry.
said than done. And I recognize
playing
that.
footsies.
I completely recognize that. If you have an A-Tech that wants $55 an hour and your current A-Tech that's been there for 10 years with you is at $45 an hour and you really want this A-Tech, like, I get it. I'm loyal too. And like, what do you do with the other guy that's at 45 or gal? Right? Like,
You need to bump them up.
you bump them up, right?
You give them the ability
but
to
then-
get to that point.
You
And then,
need to
like,
reward
how
them
much
for
does that
retention.
cost them?
Mhm.
And then how do you combat the expense
They
of that?
talk to
right?
their coach.
Exactly.
And they talk to them on
No,
how
I
to do
agree.
it.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. It's
Like,
crazy.
but that is probably one of the biggest challenges is that they're comparing what it would cost them to get that new person to what their current people are.
with their $2 an hour raises over the past 20 years.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's-
get it.
Go ahead, Sam.
No, I just
Oh.
wanted to ask because one of the things you mentioned that you do
I'm
is that
stealing this.
not only do you place ads all over on all the job boards and all, you said you actively look for people that aren't looking. Let's touch on that because I think that's huge.
So we have over 50,000 validated contacts in our database. And right, am I wrong on
Yeah,
that?
no, you're right. There could be
Look at
some
me.
duplicates in there. Like there's a
Um,
lot of John Smiths, and you're like, oh, which?
But we're utilizing all of the avenues we can. We do still use all the job boards, but we have sourcers that are calling candidates that are in our database that were looking a year ago or did not get placed through us. We're utilizing our sourcing licenses through like Indeed so that we're reaching out to those candidates. There's a pretty deep database there. I mean, I think she's on a meeting with Indeed probably weekly at this point, trying to figure
think they
out
have,
the
like,
world.
My face on a dartboard right now.
It's okay, but that face is gonna.
Like,
But we're on podcasts, like these things. We're everywhere. We're at trade shows. We're bringing awareness to help technicians know there's more places to go to figure out, am I where I need to be, and what can I do to move forward? A lot of them are the technicians at the shops where they just brought somebody in. I mean, they brought an A-Tech in. I've been here for 10 years and this guy's at 55 an hour and I'm still here. Well, that's not a good feeling. Those guys start to look.
no.
And I mean, the job offer letter piece really fast. I'll go back to that. A lot of shops, even our clients, we have to convince them to do it because they are fearful that that letter is going to get taken back to their
Somewhere else,
existing
right.
shop and then they're going to get countered and they're going to lose it. So what?
Right.
So what?
It's the same nonsense we hear about. I don't want to give somebody a written estimate because they're going to go down the street
Who
to get
cares?
it cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm big on karma. It's coming back.
You just mentioned that you call people that might have been looking a year ago or something, and that's so important. Two things with that. One, a lot of times when our people are looking and trying to do it on their own, it seems like everybody they send an email to or do anything with, they're like, oh, they got a job 6 months ago, like that. A lot of those
Yeah.
boards are not keeping it current. So you do that work for them.
Correct.
and take that out of there.
We don't supply a candidate to one of our clients unless they're actively interested in entertaining a conversation. The other piece of it is it comes down to speed. If they are actively looking and they're not fast in front of them, chances are you're probably not going to have a shot at them.
Yeah, but
No.
we are going to the database to your question, your point. So we will go back. Like, think about most shops have a CRM, Kakui as an example, right? And you're staying in touch with your customers. You have to do that with candidates.
Yeah.
So every shop listening to this has
100%.
posted an A-level position and had GSTs apply
Of
to it,
course.
right? Yesterday's GST could be tomorrow's B.
Right.
And
Right.
you need
You
that
skipped
B.
a C.
Sure. I'm not the smartest. But think about 3 years from now and you find out that they're, a New York Giants fan and you just stay in touch with them and be like, do you see that Giants win? Right? Like just staying in touch. How's it going?
So
at
you're
Ford?
building the bench for them.
You are
And-
100%.
Well, and that's where the whole giving them their time in the right spots. So being more efficient. They, in my opinion, shouldn't be fielding these candidates. Utilize a system like Promotive. But when you get a candidate that you match with culturally or that you match with personality wise, that maybe they're not where you need to be today, but stay in contact, take them to lunch, meet their
Yeah.
family, like
Invite
do
them to team
something.
outing
Yeah.
events.
Absolutely, because as
Right.
make them want to work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that when you do have that opportunity, you're like, I'm ready.
Yeah. And the ghosting thing that we hear constantly.
Oh.
It's on both sides.
I am
It
going
is.
to ask every shop owner, the ones you
Please.
guys coach, it starts at the time of application.
Yes.
Right? Somebody, even though AI may have made it easy to
Right.
apply, they still applied. And maybe they don't remember that they applied
Well, they
most
probably
of the
won't
time.
even know. But
Right? Like
there's only so much responses that they're going to get. You
But-
want to be one of them.
feedback is a gift.
Right.
And have some common courtesy, human decency to say, hey, appreciate your application. You look like a fantastic GST.
Right.
This is for an A-level role. I'd love for you to follow us on Indeed. So when you see us post the
Yeah, no,
next
we
job,
don't do that. We just
Like,
ignore them.
we
'cause they
ignore
were
them.
And then we
idiots.
get mad that they ghost us
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
try to reach
But
out
to
to them.
build off of that too, though, that person that applied, they could be your customer. Their family could be your
Yep.
customer. They could have friends that could be
Ooh, I
technicians.
never
Yes.
saw it from that
Right.
view.
So
Yeah.
you're already dropping the ball. You're losing a potential
Correct.
client. But there's one thing I wanted to bring up before. I know we're running
Yeah.
way out of time.
Oh,
but
no.
there's one thing.
Well, and then we
I
got
know,
fun
I
stuff.
want to do that too.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
there's one thing I want to bring up. We have to make our shops cool because all of these other industries, there's something cool about it that they're going.
Mhm.
And if it's not cool, it's the money. Right. So one way or another, you have to have something, a cool factor
Yeah.
for your shop. And it would be nice if it was the money and it was cool. And in order to show that you're cool, it's very simple. You got to do the stuff that techs want. So this is, if you're a general auto repair, you can still do fun stuff. It doesn't mean that you have to take on cars that are like crazy. You don't have to taking a Lamborghini to go act like you're cool. You can go and have team outing events.
Yep.
Put it out there. Show that this is
Post
the
it.
culture that you want. This is the kind of people that you want to work for you. Money is great. Everybody wants more money. That's never going to go away. But people want to feel like they belong to something bigger than just a job.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
and this is what, automotive industry has always been great because cars have been cool for a long time. I hate to break it to most of the people out there, cars are no longer that cool. I mean, it's a trend, it's a phase.
What?
They're really not that cool to the masses.
I don't have
You
a
know
cool
what's
car.
cool is video gaming.
Yeah.
People think that's cool. You can make money from video games. It's so easy to make money today.
Don't tell to my kid, please.
Well, hey, I mean, it's so easy, right? Your kid already knows.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
so easy to make
We
money.
do some with the uniforms. We have not changed the automotive technician uniform.
You want them to come in
Get the
Alice in
baseball
Wonderland?
shirts.
Kim, you cannot be in charge of uniforms
Why not?
because we are not dressing with fairy dust in our hair, and we're not doing that.
I need that wig. I really need that
fairy
wig.
hair. It's fairy
Yeah.
hair. It's tinsel. It's not fairy dust.
But that's actually in your hair.
I just
It is
can't- I don't
in
know
my
how
hair.
she sees.
How
Yes.
does that even happen?
She's like,
She's
with a-
not
they
seeing
tie
through
each
those.
piece in there. But listen, some of your but it's like if you're gonna be old school with universe, then at least do retro, something cool like a
Right.
1950s gas
Yeah.
station or
Yeah.
something. Go retro on purpose. Just don't be tired
Yeah.
and exhausted looking.
And wash them.
Culture is a whole other topic.
Right,
Happy
right.
to ever go through random ideas. I said a couple weeks ago on a different podcast, like you don't have to be cool. You need to make your people feel proud of where they
Right.
work.
Yes.
I used to have kegs on tap at my office at 360, right? Like that's cool.
Can we get that at 18?
when we were
I would like to.
in our
Can
30s,
you get a
right?
cake in my office? I know I work
have
remote,
kegs
but
in my backyard, right? They're not drank enough. Like I'm like, is this even good beer anymore? But artwork, right? Let the parents bring their kids' artwork, hang it in the office on a clothesline.
But see,
right?
that is cool.
Like it makes them
it's
feel good.
engaging.
Right.
Right?
It's
Like-
engaging.
And because as parents, I mean, your kids are a little bit older. Do you have kids, by the way?
No, okay.
All right, so like we're in the stage where we don't know what to do with all this artwork they bring home from school, right?
Send it to the
no,
shops.
I'm
But
not in
they're
that
so
stage.
proud.
I'm
They are
beyond it.
so proud of their artwork. Like, bring it to the office and
Your
hang it up,
refrigerator
right?
can
Like,
only hold
so much.
No,
Oh
I
my
take
gosh.
a picture of it and say, "Oh, I'm going to archive it for
Yeah.
you."
So,
Garbage.
but speaking of cool, we wanted to have you guys test our
Okay.
AI
Yeah, let's do
platform
it.
as a live candidate, and we ask that you try to take it seriously.
Of
We've
course.
had some, goofiness on it before.
Hey, I'll
So
take it
we're rolling out a virtual only platform. So a lot of shops don't want to pay us a placement fee, right? They don't want to pay.
They actually become
See,
extra
can I bring
picky.
up my grandmother's saying again about
Uh-oh.
people stepping over dollars to pick up pennies? When
Oh.
you look at how much
We do.
you're
but-
losing in revenue, but I don't want to pay.
Right.
Like All right.
Yeah.
Oh
but-
no! I mean, on average, what did Hunt say that a bay on average from clients is $29,000 a month that they're
Something
losing?
like that, yeah.
And so they have an empty bay that's not getting anything coming through it, and yet they don't want to pay a placement fee. They're extra picky on candidates, and
Because of our fee, they're extra picky.
And I typically will have to say, if we were not involved in this process, would you have hired them? And 99% of the time is yes. Then what is the damn problem?
Where are they going to put their boat if they have that bay? There's a tech in there.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
right.
Oh,
Good call
man.
on that.
But-
But so we needed also speed. So our clients hire us when they need somebody yesterday. We start at on a first and goal from the 40 instead of a first and goal from the 5. They expect us to be, Lisa Bezos with a, technician prime delivered on their.
Lisa.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Well, and I have a door behind me in my office when I'm on meetings, and I'm like, just so we're very clear, this is not a factory where we are
Like,
making.
So
Yes.
they will come to us. We will get a lead. Let's say it's even from ATI. And then they go through it. But it's like, oh, well, I have a couple candidates in the pipeline from my Indeed ad right now. So they wait to see what happens with those. And then they might hire one. And then we know what happens, statistically 2, 3, 4 months later, they don't make it. And then they come and they're like, I need you guys. And then we're like in hurry up offense. And it's not fun for either side, us or the shop. And then they, hire somebody that has 10 fingers and fogs a mirror. And then it's like, oh, the quality is bad. Well, you're on our butts about needing somebody yesterday. So one thing that we've realized is shop owners, because of how busy they are, they just need that speed, right?
Don't you want to just say lack of planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on our part?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Don't
like
you wanna just
I
say
like to
that?
say I told you come back right now, but like they come back. It's either somebody signs up with us right away when they hear about us, or they sign up 2 or 3 months later. It is like a weird. You can see, like exactly what's going to happen.
Well, I
So-
think they could solve the problem they haven't been able to solve for a year on their own when they hear about us. Like, okay,
And recruiting, let's be real, is something that we as business owners can do. I can't write a legal agreement. I mean, ChatGPT can help me with it, but who knows if it's right? It didn't know my knee I had a torn ACL and a meniscus. It knew my MRI images. So it's like, now I have Dr. GPT.
Right,
But,
right.
they can recruit. They can't do legal agreements. They can't do their own, file their taxes. But because they can recruit, they try to do it without paying a fee. And I get it as a business owner. We care about EBITDA. We care about expenses. I'd rather, give my employees a raise than pay another vendor. But at the end of the day, like, this is something we do all day, every day. And speed's a big deal. So one product we rolled out, her name's Paige.
she's hot.
My wife named her, happens to have AI in her name.
That was an accident.
Complete
but it's
accident.
cool.
I was
didn't
going to
even
say
catch
that
Like,
is so clever.
Right? Like complete accident, but Paige by Promotive has like a
It sounds
little-
like Promotive.
right? Like it's like Jake from State Farm,
Yeah.
but Paige by Promotive, right? So she will, as soon as somebody applies to an ad, immediately respond via Indeed, respond via email. But what are these guys looking at? Their phones, their text messages. So she will say, hey, thanks for applying to Joe's Auto Repair. The first step of our process is to call our virtual recruiter. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It's powered by Promotive. Here's the number, call at your convenience. We have about 40% of our candidates taking that initial screen within 11 hours, with 90% of them in that first hour, because they're getting an immediate response. They know who it
That's
is,
incredible.
and
It
they're
is.
taking this. At first, she'll tell you she was
I was 100% against it. I've been in the industry 20 years, and I'm like, it's like CVS, and I call them monthly because I have to get my ADHD medications, and I'm like, human.
I do the same thing.
So
And
she's
it
real.
annoys me. And then she's like, okay, so
Just
are you
try
done
her.
being like closed-minded? You're actually
like,
going to
just
like,
try her.
and I called, and this is not even a joke. I called it and I tested like you're going to do here shortly. And about halfway through, I'm screaming, it's going to actually work. My husband comes into the office and he's like, what's going to work? What's going to work? And if you knew my husband's personality, you 100% can visualize this. But he's like, what's going to work? And I said, Paige. He's like, who's Paige?
Yeah.
And it actually works. In 1 week, we did 369 screens in 1 week.
Wow.
And
That is crazy.
Thanksgiving weekend, as an example, we did 52 on that Friday. Because how many
When
people,
nobody's open.
right?
And think about it, right? So the shops that are getting 100 candidates that are coming through, they're not getting to them. They are missing
Right.
the
It's
ones.
hard.
They're missing the ones that could actually be a fit because they can't get to them because they're going through all the garbage. This is being able to get to everyone quickly and getting the information they need and presenting that to them without them having to do anything.
Yeah.
So they're already ahead of the game and have what they need.
And
So they're not
extra
missing
layer
it.
too, though. Like, because now, even if there was like
So
AI
I get really,
applicants-
really passionate about
You're good.
this.
Even if there was AI applicants, right? Like they mass applied. You're putting that extra layer. So now the people that are actually going to go through this,
Yep.
you're already cutting down on the
Correct.
people that actually
And they're
want,
following instruction.
right, and they want to actually come work.
Yeah.
And can we
we
hit
go.
on that following instruction piece?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I absolutely love when technicians don't listen and you say, hey, don't call the shop, don't walk in the shop. And they do. And then the shop reaches out, oh, well, they came in. All right. So is that not a red flag to you? Because it is not something I encourage. If I ask somebody not to do something, if I ask my kids, hey, don't do this, and they do it, they're in trouble, but you're rewarding it.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not okay. That is a layer, like you're saying, of showing that they can actually listen to instructions
Yeah.
and follow through.
And the questions asked on this, when you
From what I
guys
find
go
out.
through it, is more than what their resumes will tell.
It's more
And
than the
let's-
5 answers you're getting from
be
Indeed.
real, resumes, they're not professional resume builders.
And
it's
if they are,
ChatGPT to begin with.
Well, and if they
If
are,
that,
they're half
that's good.
fake. Like it's
Yeah.
not real.
Right.
So this really hones in on more. So for sake of time, when she asks, do you want to learn more about Promotive, just
Say
say
no.
no. So
Okay.
you could
What
skip
if I do
the.
though?
I mean, you're
I bet
welcome
we're limited on
You
So-
can do it.
No.
We're just
Yeah,
running
you're
a
gonna-
two-parter. We're
in
gonna
your
run a
mind,
two-parter.
though, make
Put on
sure
speaker.
are you going to be a tech, a service advisor? So
I'm a
think,
tech, yeah.
okay.
Thanks for calling.
I interrupted.
Got
you.
it. Thanks for sharing. Let's dive in a bit more. Can you tell me your first and last name?
Jason Patel.
Thanks, Jason. Are you calling from your cell phone?
Yes.
Perfect. I'll save this number as your contact. Can you also provide your email address?
Bleep
Thanks,
that out.
Jason. Just to confirm, your email is great. Thank you. Can you tell me your current city, state, and 5-digit zip code? Thanks, Jason. So you're in Charlotte, North Carolina. Zip.
Yes.
Perfect. What is the maximum commute you'd be comfortable with in minutes and miles?
20 minutes, 8 miles.
Got it. 20 minutes or 8 miles. Are you open to relocating for the right opportunity?
Yes.
Great. Where would you be willing to relocate? And would you require financial assistance to do so?
Los Angeles and yes.
Thanks for sharing, Jason. So you're open to relocating to Los Angeles and would require financial assistance. Let's move on. How many total years of experience do you have in the automotive industry?
13.
13 years. Impressive. Have you worked in an independent shop, a dealership, or both?
Independent shop.
Got it. Independent shop experience. Would you be open to working at a dealership? And if not, why?
No. And because
Understood, Jason. Thanks for clarifying. Got it, Jason. So you're a B-level technician. Are you currently employed?
yes.
Great. Who is your current employer and what is your job title?
I am a tech at a Euro shop.
Thanks, Jason. So you're an A-Tech at a Euro shop. What are your current work hours, days, and times?
8 to 6:30 and Monday through Friday.
Got it. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. How long have you been working there?
5 years.
Thanks, Jason. 5 years is a solid tenure. What is your current compensation and pay structure? Hourly, flat rate, or salary?
Hourly.
Thanks. What is your current hourly rate?
$44 an hour.
Got it. 44 an hour. What benefits does your employer currently provide, like PTO, medical, or others?
PTO, medical, dental, and 401k.
Thanks for sharing. So you have PTO, medical, dental, and a 401k. What's prompting you to explore a new opportunity?
Growth.
Got it. You're looking for growth opportunities. That makes sense. If you had to pick one thing, what are you looking for most in your next role?
More PTO and more growth opportunities.
Understood. More PTO and growth opportunities are key for you. What is your target pay and what's the minimum you'd accept?
Minimum would be 45 an hour. Target pay would be 55 an hour.
Thanks, Jason. So your target is $50 an hour with a minimum of $40 an hour. What benefits are must-haves for you in your next role, e.g. medical, PTO, retirement, etc.?
Medical, PTO, retirement, and dental.
You don't care about your eyes.
Got it. Medical, PTO, retirement, and dental are must-haves. What would your ideal schedule look like in your next role?
8 to 5. Monday through Friday.
Thanks, Jason. Got it. Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Right now, Promotive is hiring for roles like automotive technician, diesel technician, collision and body technician, service advisor, parts manager, general manager, and CSR. Which position are you most interested in pursuing?
Shop foreman, A-tech, and potentially general manager as well.
Thanks, Jason. Out of those roles, shop foreman, A-tech, and general manager, which one would you say is your top choice right now?
Shop foreman.
Perfect. Let's focus on the shop foreman role. I'll dive into a few questions specific to that position. Are you ready to continue?
Yes.
Great. As a shop foreman, leadership is key. Can you share any experience you have managing or mentoring other technicians?
Yes, I've trained a lot of my technicians that work at our shop right now.
That's fantastic, Jason. Training and mentoring your team shows strong leadership. How do you typically motivate and retain your staff?
I motivate them by showing them growth opportunities and making sure that they understand where they're going.
That's a great approach. Helping your team see their growth path is so important. Are you also responsible for hiring, onboarding, or training new staff in your current role?
Just training new staff.
Got it. So you focus on training new staff. How do you handle escalated customer issues or complaints when they arise?
I don't have to deal with that.
Understood. It sounds like your focus is more on the technical and team side. How do you ensure the shop runs smoothly and stays productive day to day?
I make sure that everyone's producing what they need to and handle any difficult cars that come in through the shop.
That's a solid strategy, keeping productivity high and tackling the tough jobs yourself. One last question for this role. Are you comfortable with managing shop performance metrics like efficiency or profitability?
Yes.
Great to hear, Jason. It sounds like you have a strong foundation for a shop foreman role. I'll pass along your information to our hiring team to match you with the best opportunities. Do you have any questions for me before we wrap up?
Nope, that'll be all.
Thanks for your time, Jason. We'll be in touch soon with next steps. Have a great day.
You as well.
Okay, I love that. And
That was great.
And I know Jason will have a lot more technical stuff to say on there, but here's why. My attention span, and I am so lazy, I don't like to write things down. If I could call a number and just answer, and the thing I always talk about with, I really loathe when shops have a sheet for people to fill out when they come in and write all their history and do it. And I always go back to when I go to the doctor, when I get that at a new doctor, if I'm filling it out, I have been to the doctor one time for the flu in 50 years. If they're asking me, I tell them every motorcycle accident, every car accident, every surgery, every ACL, every, what I mean? I give them everything. But if I have to fill that paper out, I don't tell them anything because I'm not going to sit there and write down 10 million things. So I love that.
And I have seen other platforms that are trying to do recruiting as well. And one of their things is sending a text message with a form for them to fill out. And I'm like, I laugh because I won't even do that.
Right.
Well, I do want to kind of give you my feedback on this, right?
Please.
So this is, we're in a space right now where obviously AI is upskilling and creating so much efficiency in things that nobody would have thought otherwise. Now, with that being said, this is a model that's going to continue to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part about it is it's not a blanket recruiting platform. It is very generalized to or specified to the automotive side of things, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are doing collision industry as
Yep,
well.
we're doing
so
it all.
it's the whole automotive space entirely. But with that being said, I mean, we are going to continue to see better results from this as it gets more data. And one thing that I saw was even after it already processed something that I said, and I paused for a little bit and it started processing that, if I add something else to it, it still records it. It still verifies.
Yep.
So it's verifying. You guys are going to be able to do so much with this data.
Mm-hmm.
And now you get to also vet clients with this, or not clients, but potential applicants.
Candidates, yep.
And now you're also getting to see where they're looking to go. Because chances are, if a tech says that they want to be a shop foreman, let's just say, but they get an offer for being a tech from somewhere else and they decide to go with that, we already
We know they want to be a foreman. We know that's their goal.
Exactly. So now, I don't know if you guys are doing this yet, but we can start building databases from all of this and start setting up, I don't want to call it a spy, but you could start setting up something that's always constantly scraping the web on all of these. And now you're connecting a whole web of technicians and other applicants. You're kind of following their social media. You can follow all the platforms and see what's working and what's not. As soon as something triggers a pain point, you guys already have the clients that are looking for these kind of technicians or foremans. Slide right in there.
Yeah.
And imagine even going to another step of being able to provide something like this to do assessments on your own team.
Right.
Yeah.
And do a temperature check and see what's going on and how things, because sometimes I'm afraid to talk to you to tell you how I feel and what's going on, but they're opening up to our AI bot, to Paige.
Too much.
Listen, they treat her like an actual human. I hear them thanking her. I hear
Said
I
you
just
as
did
well.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's absolutely crazy. And to think, when I initially heard about this, I was like, no, this is taking off, and it is going to help every shop out there in the areas they need to have that support, so that they can be better at the areas they need to, where it comes to actually interviewing, when it comes to actually having those detailed conversations. And we're taking this information and we're taking that recording and that transcript and we're compiling it for our clients and presenting it to them and saying, all right, here's everything that you need. And here's the rating for that candidate. Now do what you feel you need to do with it.
Yeah. And we'll send you the summary.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
You know, we'll have it.
Kevin Allen actually sent me kind of the whole background of all this. So
Yeah. And this was a test line. So the live line is more groomed.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more detail as well.
I was like,
it's more trained.
Yes.
Oh, wait. I mean, we're getting 300-400 dials a week at this point. So
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. This is exciting.
It's fun.
And I'm so happy that there's an option out there for people. And we are going to have your shop owners that are like, I don't need that. I don't need you. I don't need whatever. But I know that both of you would not mind if someone just called and said, listen, I got to start recruiting. I want to sort of try it on my own. Can you give me a little feedback? What kind of things should I be offering?
Yeah.
And to have that to reach out and start
We
that
always
dialogue.
want to help.
I have always said I would love to help consult and kind of guide. I have a lot of this knowledge for being in this industry for so long. I want to share it. I'm a big believer in treating people the way you want to be treated. And if I was in that position, I want somebody to help me.
That is so awesome. All right. Well, we'll have to figure out that this was a lot of information to do, like a
Yeah.
part A and a part B.
This was like the onboarding that most new techs get from shops. It's like a fire hose.
Yeah,
But it was
and by the
amazing.
way, I don't know if you, because it's a test line, got a text message.
I'll tell you.
It's on your phone.
Yeah, it was my phone.
A text would go saying, thank you for completing this on a scale of 1 to 5. How was your experience? So we're already getting their feedback if it's not,
I love it.
easy. So it's been fun. I think it's cooler than text to pay. I love text to pay that we started at 360, but this is like next level in that it's truly helping the industry at just different heights.
Yes.
We need technicians are the most essential of essential workers. Every shop owner out there, whoever they hire, we have the same philosophy that we wouldn't want to send them somebody we wouldn't want fixing our cars. And they're the ones keeping our children safe. Right. Like we are the ones getting the pilots to the airports, the doctors to the hospitals, and it's a serious business and we want to help as much as we can.
I love it.
Thank you both so
Yeah,
much.
we
This
love
was
you guys.
really
This was
wonderful.
fun.
This was awesome.
Wonderful.
Right.
All right, everybody, stay safe and make good choices, and we will be back for the next episode.